I just want to start off with, I have a real heavy heart here, and I've stood by, kept my mouth shut, watched like most Americans, and just try to let the same play out because I'm a hard-working American like many others. We've got jobs to go to. We've got everyday shit to do in our lives that takes our time, takes our money, takes our energy. Working 12-hour shifts right now. Gotta go do it. Gotta support the family. What is going on in the country? Well, we've got mob rule. We've got people just walking around taking over areas. Right now in Seattle, an armed group has taken over 7 or 8 city blocks. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable by any means, any standard. It should not be allowed in our country. I have watched for years now as a fringe group of society has just decided basically to throw out the rule of law and follow their own laws. And for those of us who work every day and have our jobs to go to, we don't have time to sit and do protests. We don't, because if we do, we lose our jobs. We can't support our families. So we don't. We go to work, we pay our taxes, we support this country in full by paying our taxes. Okay? This country's not supported by anybody else but the working class people who pay their taxes. But we have to stand, well, let me take that back. Let me rephrase that. We have to sit on the sidelines and watch this bullshit go down just because at the moment, you know, it's being allowed. It's being allowed by our government. How does our government allow this? It's beyond my belief, beyond my comprehension, how they can allow total mob rule and just act like it's okay. Nobody across this country, I haven't heard of one person who thinks that what happened is okay. And when I say what happened, I'm talking about Minneapolis, obviously. And, you know, we've got so many cops out there that are great cops. And then you have one bad cop here and there. And these cops go out, they put their life on risk every day. Okay? They deal with criminal elements every day. Nobody deserves to lose their life unless they're trying to do harm to someone. So I'm totally against everything that happened, as far as how it happened. But there's rule of law, okay? The cop is being dealt with. The cops that stood by and watched it are being dealt with. What is going on now is unacceptable. It's fucking unacceptable. We've got communists, we got socialists, we got extremists walking around this country attacking everyday people who work hard, not bothering nobody, and they're attacking them just because they can get away with it. What happens when they attack somebody they can't get away with it for? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I know me, myself, and I know many, many more like me. They run up and attack me, they're going to have a bad day. I don't play that shit. I grew up working hard, okay? I grew up being taught hard lessons. You will not ever see me put my back down or get on my knees for these people. Not going to happen, all right? There's a lot like me. It will not happen. They will not get on their knees. It blows my mind. It pisses me off to see the country that I grew up in, so many people have fought for, going to this, turning into this. Working class Americans better wake up. We don't have a voice here right now because we don't speak up. We're too worried about saying the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing, getting fired from our job for having the wrong opinion. We won't have jobs, we won't have a country, we won't have anything if we let this continue. The Constitution, the rule of law, those are the things the country were founded on. That's how the country has existed. You take away the Constitution, the rule of law, the police departments, things like that, and you will not have a country. You will have a mob rule society. You do not want a mob rule society, because everybody ain't going to take mob rule, okay? This has potential to get way out of hand really quick if our government does not get up off its knees, quit bowing down before this mob, quit throwing working class Americans under the bus like we're not shit, quit throwing these cops under the bus like they're not shit. This can turn very bad very quickly. What happens, God forbid, when these mobs run up on somebody who's not prepared to take that shit? You're going to throw an honest, law-abiding citizen who pays taxes, goes to work, feeds their family, you're going to throw them in prison for defending themselves against a mob? Is that the way we're going to do it? It pisses me off beyond belief, to a point that I'm sure plenty of other Americans are starting to get pissed off too. The government gives its own self raises, where they get $30,000 this year to do what? They're not doing shit. They're not doing shit to protect us. They're not doing shit to protect our country. They ought to be fucking ashamed. It's a bad, touchy subject, and bear with me for a minute, because I know I'm pissed off. Yeah, I know it. There's a lot of people getting pissed off. Fact of the matter is, Americans, we're going to lose our rights. We're going to lose our paychecks. We're going to lose our freedom. And we will lose our country if we don't wake up. Now, I had to take me a minute to breathe, calm down, think, because I don't want to be irrational here. But what's going on in the country is irrational. At this point, I, like many others, will not take this media narrative. We will not let our country go based on lies and based on politics. And there's a lot of us across this country. I suggest our government get their shit together and put an end to this shit and start actually looking at who pays taxes, who pays their salaries, who does what they're supposed to, who are the criminals, who's not a criminal. If you're a working class American, doesn't matter your race, doesn't matter your sex, your creed, your sexual preference, or nothing else. The only thing that matters is you get your ass up, you go to work, you support your family, you pay for your household, you pay your taxes, and you keep this government running. People who don't do that, I'm sorry. If you don't do that, you shouldn't have a say to begin with. You should not be allowed to not do shit for this country and then sit there and say, what about me? What about you? Get the fuck up. Get a job. Do what the fuck you're supposed to do. Take care of your business. Take care of your family. Pay your taxes. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't be out there doing shit to run into the police. You do run into the police, even if you think they're dead fucking wrong. You say, yes, sir, no, ma'am, whatever. You agree with them. You damn put your hands behind your back. You don't resist. You do whatever they say. When you get to court, you fight it. That's what due process is. You get your day in court. Okay? All this shit that's going on needs to come to an end. I'm pleading with our government right now. If you don't want to see this go the wrong direction, you better get it under control. American people will get it under control if you don't.